Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. I welcome you to all of my videos. I really appreciate all the support that you guys have been sending my way, all the different emails that I've been getting, really interesting questions that have been coming my way. My list of video suggestions is growing rapidly, and so I'm so grateful for that, for all of that, all of the love and support. In this video, I wanted to speak to you guys about the fact that, specifically for me, I found this to be very true, and I found it to be true for some other INFJs as well, and so I wanted to do a video on this. I find that INFJs speak really fast, especially obviously when we're really excited about the topic or passionate about the topic. But in general, I find that we have a tendency to speak very rapidly, very fast. And I know a lot of people message me saying, they find the fact that I speak very fast, sometimes a little bit threatening and a little bit scary. It's just the way we are. And for me specifically, I've been analyzing myself, as you guys know, forever. And I used to think about the fact, why do I speak so fast? What is this need inside of me to get these ideas out there as soon as possible? Why do I have this incessant desire to speak very fast and get my ideas through to that person in front of me extremely fast? And so I analyzed myself a little bit, and I realized, specifically for me at least, in the past when I was much younger, I had this kind of timid nature. Not because I was afraid of the world necessarily, but I think it was because I did not know myself, and I realized, observing the world and observing myself, that I was extremely different from the people around me, and that meant to me, specifically at that point in time, that there was something wrong with me, right? And I know you guys have probably had this feeling as well. When we're younger, that's the reason I love doing these videos specifically for younger INFJs, because I want them to realize that there's nothing wrong with you, you're completely normal, right? But no one told me that when I was younger, that you're normal, it's fine, everything's fine. And so obviously I assumed that something was wrong with me, and why am I so different, and why do I have to be so odd, and blah blah. So that happened to me a lot, and because of that I kind of became a little bit timid, because I was worried that I shouldn't put myself out there into the real world as my authentic self, because I'm so different from everyone else around me that I was going to be ostracized. If I did end up showing my real face to the world, I was afraid that they would ostracize me, they would, shun me, I wouldn't have any more friends, everyone would leave me, and I would be in the corner by myself crying. That was a major fear of mine when I was a child. And so I really tried very much so to be a chameleon and not to show my real face to the world. And in that process, I hid a lot of myself. I hid a lot of my parts. I hid many parts of myself. And because of that, I was very timid, because I was unsure. A lot of times I was unsure, what face should I be showing right now? What kind of chameleon mode should I be going into? And it took me a while to kind of adjust to the people around me and to realize what face to show. That caused me to become very timid. When I did speak, which was very rare, I didn't speak normally in public, obviously. Even if it was only one-on-one, I was very quiet. Usually that person was an extrovert. All of my friends were extroverts. And so they would be the ones doing all the talking, and I would just be sitting and listening most of the time, which is completely fine with me. I was absolutely fine being the venting board or soundboard for most of these people. But when I did speak, I found that because I was so timid, and because I was so afraid to put my thoughts out there, because I was so afraid that people wouldn't care about my opinions, they didn't. They would speak over me, they'd interrupt me, and mostly they didn't actually really care what I had to say. Or maybe that was my perception. I look back upon it now and I think to myself, was that really the truth? Were people really like that? Or was I projecting my own insecurities upon the people in front of me? I have no idea right now at this point in time, because it was too long ago for me to figure it out. But either way, if I was projecting or if it was the truth, what happened was that, I'd speak up, eventually after I'd gather all this strength, I'll be like, okay, I have to say something about this because it's really important to me, and I have to say something. And I gather all this strength and I'd say something. And before I'd even finish, someone would interrupt me, or they would ignore me, or things like that, right? Again, not their fault. I myself was not very strong. My voice wasn't very strong. I was very timid. I'd speak very softly. Probably they didn't hear me, or they didn't care, or they didn't think that I had anything important to say, because I really myself did not think that I had anything important to say, because I didn't believe in myself enough. I wasn't strong enough to believe in myself at that point in time. So I was interrupted a lot. Because of that, as I grew older, I realized that if I had to get my point across, if I had to talk about something that was important to me, I had to talk about it really, 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 really fast. If I didn't talk about it really, really, really fast, then the person would interrupt me and I wouldn't be able to get my complete point across. That meant that I started speaking very, very fast. Whenever I had the chance, whenever I did have the audience, or whenever I had the chance to, pontificate on anything that really mattered to me, first of all, I'd be really afraid to even start. I was always really afraid to even begin the process of starting to talk, right? But once I did get into it, I realized that people would sometimes get this odd look on their face. And I think to myself, are they making fun of me in their head? Or are they thinking that I'm crazy? Or do they think I'm too intense? Or do they think I'm too passionate? Or do they think I'm insane for believing in this? Whatever it might be, there were all these negative, doubtful thoughts in my head. And that meant that because I was so nervous about it, I'd speak even faster. And I tried to get my point across faster so that I could stop talking and someone else could start talking. In those moments, probably I wasn't interrupted a lot, but still it was this kind of feeling inside of me that, oh my God, I'm going to be interrupted. I have to say things really fast, right? That's one of the reasons I think I started speaking really fast. Nowadays, when I do these videos, I'm actually really slowing myself down, which is the funny thing. If I spoke really, 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 really fast, I'd be actually speaking much faster. I actually slow myself down a lot to do these videos because I realize that I can't be speaking at my normal rate. Otherwise, people are not going to understand what the hell I'm talking about. So I really slow myself down and I try to speak very slowly and I articulate my thoughts. And it still comes across as very fast. So I wonder how slow I have to be in order to speak slowly. The second thing I want to say about this, about speaking very fast, is also, I think, because our brains work very fast. And you guys probably know this, we make connections really, really fast. We move from topic to topic and we have all these kind of random circles and loops and webs that are going on in our head. And because of that, we have all these ideas that we want to share with the world. Now, our brains move very fast. And I think because our brains move very fast, there's a lot of neural pathways there moving zigzagging and moving fast. Because of that, I think we speak very fast as well. And I type very fast as well because people will actually notice me. Now, I think I type at 100, 120 words per minute because when I'm thinking, I'm actually typing at trying to at least type at the same rate as the way my brain works. And I stumble because I don't do it as fast as my brain works. I can't type as fast as my brain thinks, obviously. But I try as much as possible to do that. Same thing as when we're speaking. I think we try to match the speed of how fast our brain is moving, how fast we're thinking. And because we're thinking very fast, our brain moves very fast and makes connections really fast because of our intuition, our introverted intuition. Because of that, we have this tendency to speak very fast as well. We're understanding it really quickly, and then we're speaking very quickly as well. And we're assuming, as I've told you before, we assume that people are understanding it quickly as well, which is not the case always. I always have to repeat myself, and that's the reason that, as I've said, I'm really trying to slow down the pace at which I speak, because I notice that every single time I speak very fast and I'm really intense about it and very passionate, people are not able to keep up with my connections, with the things that I'm making, and I'm kind of jumping from topic to topic, and it makes sense in my head, but it doesn't make any sense to them. And so they're always asking me questions, they're always asking me to repeat myself, and that means that I'm not doing a good job of communicating my ideas to the world. As I've said to you guys before over and over again, communication, especially verbal, vocal communication, is one of the most important tools that we have in this world, especially as an INFJ. We're great at writing, but if we could just kind of translate that great writing skill into vocal skills or communication skills, I think we'd be really, really, really powerful. And so I think, as INFJs, one of the main skills that you guys need to develop is the ability to speak and to communicate your ideas in an articulate manner where the other party can understand it and you're being effective in your communication. So you're actually speaking in a way where the other party can understand you right away, and that means you're effectively communicating your ideas to the other party, right? That's really, I think, one of the most important skills that any INFJ can develop, especially if you're a younger INFJ right now. I do recommend either that you join Toastmasters or you join some kind of public speaking forum where you can start practicing the idea of speaking in public, but also speaking and communicating your ideas in a manner that other people can understand you. So these are some of my thoughts on why I think I speak very fast and why I think INFJs in general speak very fast when they have the chance to communicate, because we're so afraid of being interrupted. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about my analysis? Do you think it's the truth, or do you think there's some other idea behind it or some other reason for it? I would love to hear from you guys. If you guys have any questions at all, please let me know. All my contact information is in the description below. And I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.